Hi, I hope you're doing well. Well, I'm here today to talk about May as an overview, just to hit some of the highlights that we might be experiencing as we go through the month of May. And I will say that it is probably going to be markedly different from April. April was a bit of a wild month. It was for me. I'm sure it was wild for a lot of people. And I think maybe we're ready to have a little more calm energy. The biggest theme I see for May is getting into individual energy. So we're going to have a lot of individual energy in play. What that means is that there's potential for melancholy, but there's also potential for creativity. And I've talked about melancholy before. The best way to work with it is to do something creative. And creative is really whatever makes you feel good, whatever you like to do. It could be the classical arts and creative endeavors like singing, dancing, or painting pictures or anything. Ultimately, whatever feels good to you is something that can move you through the energy in a way where you're sort of not looking at what's wrong with you and understanding that creativity can be a time of profound expression of your being, but also that can come with some level of melancholy as well. So there is a give and take to all energy, and I think that some of the most creative people in the world have talked about how that is part of or is part of their process or was part of their process. So tapping into that energy and using it to your advantage will serve you well. The other perspective is that in my overall energy for the year of 2024, I did mention that Uranus was going to be moving into the gate 8, and that's going to happen in June. But before that happens, we're going to get a taste of the energy of what it might bring. Now, of course, the planets are going to be different, so we're not going to get the exact energy of how it will feel with Uranus in the gate 8, but we'll get a hint of this theme of individuality. And right off the bat, as soon as we get into May, on the 3rd of May, we're going to have the full 1/8 channel. So this is going to bring a global energy that everybody will experience. And the 1/8 channel is about the creative role model. It is about just being yourself. So by being the expression of who you are, just by being yourself, by expressing yourself as you see fit. The energy of the 1/8 channel is not about necessarily being the best. This is about being the best version of you or being your unique self, because that is sort of what people are looking for. And as I said, 2024 is a year where authenticity is going to rule. And then, anybody who's trying to fake it or act like somebody else or do the things that everybody else is doing may not necessarily win the race. So this is where we're really stepping into this energy of authenticity and individuality and expressing yourself as you want to express yourself, as opposed to expressing yourself as you feel that you need to based on the box that maybe somebody has put you in, or you might have even put yourself in the box, because a lot of times we start to conform, and the energy of the 1/8 channel is not about conforming. So we have Jupiter that's going to be moving into the gate 8, and that will be in play from May 3rd right until May 26th. Now we'll have the 1/8 channel for a shorter period of time. That will be from the 3rd of May to the 9th of May. So it's giving everybody this individual creative role model, a voice of individuality. And especially if you have a hanging gate 1 where you might want to express yourself, but maybe you don't have the words, this gives everybody the words. It gives you the words. And you're going to have a longer transit of expressing yourself, because the gate 8 is a throat gate where you can express your individuality. This is projected energy, so always keep that in mind. This is not for everybody. This is for your people, and your people are the ones who are interested in what you want to share. And that's sort of the big key for the month of May. It is about individual talent and individuality, being shown in the world, but it's also this idea that if you're not recognized or acknowledged or sort of asked to share, it may not go as planned. So, as the old saying goes, don't throw your pearls before swine, and really wait for the people that are your people. And your people, as I said, will be asking you about what you want to contribute, because that's what this energy is all about. And Jupiter is exalted in 2 lines, and it brings this idea of people looking for other people to sort of connect with, to use your talents together so that you both can succeed in something. And the other perspective is just being recognized for your talents. So this is a wonderful time that if you are open and aware, you might actually find something or somebody might find you. And that is truly what a lot of people with individual energy, if you have a lot of individual energy, that is the key moment in your life when it suddenly magic happens almost where you're suddenly seen and heard and recognized for all the things that you have inside of you that you've always wanted to share. And maybe to some degree, step out of your comfort zone and do something that maybe feels a little scary, but also feels good because you're expressing yourself uniquely or the way you've always wanted to, but maybe you didn't feel you were safe to do it. Now, this is sort of the month. And then, of course, with Uranus moving into the gate 8 next month, that's going to bring even more emphasis to being different or not thinking like everybody else, because that is going to be what Uranus is truly looking for. As much as we have creative talent and mutative talent and individual talent, we also have the ability to tap into logical talent. So, in other words, if you are more logically inspired as opposed to kind of mutative and doing your own thing and doing things differently than everybody else, or maybe you've been practicing with some kind of craft or some kind of mastery that you've been working on for a while. So, we're going to have a nodal change where we're moving out of the gate 51 and the gate 57, where the nodes are now in the north and south node, we're moving into the gate 21 and the gate 48 in the north and south node. So this is going to bring the theme of logical talent. And if you have a hanging gate 16, or you have the gate 48, or you have the 1648, the full channel, this is going to bring the environment of talent to you. Now, we all can experience this energy in some way or another. So it's not just for those people who have that energy. What this is saying is that there is a place for everybody to be seen and heard. So logical talent, again, is projected energy as well. So this is about waiting to be acknowledged or waiting to be seen. And maybe you've been busy working at that thing forever, and suddenly you're seen and recognized for what you can bring. And I think that everybody wants that to happen because you work hard and you're doing things in the background and you want to be acknowledged and you want to be recognized. And so I would say if you're looking at logic, the 1648 channel, and that is the channel of talent, and then you have the 1-8 channel, which is the talent of individuality, we both have this kind of overlaying. Yes, they're coming up with different perspectives. One is, about mastery and being the best or the best you can be, and one is about just being the best version of yourself. But ultimately, it's the same feeling of wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard. This is projected energy. There can be bitterness with not being seen and heard. There can be this feeling that you want to be successful in whatever you're doing. So this is bringing those energies to the forefront. One is coming through the environment, through the nodes, and the other is coming through Jupiter. The other impactful thing that's going to happen in May is that on the 5th of May, Saturn will be moving into the gate 22. Now, it's going to stay there for a little while. It will come back later on after it retrogrades, but this is again bringing more individual energy, and this is bringing charm and grace. Now, with Saturn in there, this is about a conservative grace, maybe, or maybe I would say if you want to liken it to something, I would say like sort of this royal, regal type of grace, or where you bring this old style grace because it is kind of an older energy. But the other perspective is that it will work with the gate 8, it will work with the gate 1, it will work with the individual energy to help express yourself. Now, if you have the gate 12, the 1222 channel, or the gate 22, again, this will be impactful for you as well because those are all links to the gate 22. So Mercury is going to enter new territory on the 13th of May, and that's going to move into the gate 3 line 2 and then kind of go right through the gate 3. So what this is bringing is a new cycle. And every time a planet goes through the gate 3, it starts a new cycle. So what you begin at that particular time can sort of come to fruition, or you will see some results the next time Mercury comes back to the gate 3. It doesn't mean that nothing's going to grow, but it is a real time of seeding, and this could be seeding of your talent. So it's all working together where something is starting to grow through some sort of talent that requires kind of like an audience or people to appreciate it to make you feel like you're giving something to the world, as opposed to some people have talents that they're just happy to be home doing away from people, and they don't care what people think about it, or they could have a talent for experiences, and you don't care what people think about what you're doing. In fact, all that matters is that it feels good to you. So anybody who is looking for your talent to be recognized, again, this is a month where you might start to see something being seeded, something starting to grow, even like a little sprout, and it will continue to grow as we move through the energy of the year. So from a global perspective, we do have this shift in the nodes, which can really change the environment from going from awakening, shocking events, or things that you've never seen before, waking up to some idea or concept that you would never have thought of, and it shifts your reality. And sometimes waking up to things that are unpleasant that you don't like, but you have to sort of move through the energy. And in the end, you are stronger for it. And also the Gate 57, which is part of integration, which tapped a lot of people, or is tapping a lot of people into their intuition and this sort of survival of who you are, and taking care of yourself, as well as looking at the future as an opportunity as opposed to something to be fearful of. So those are the things we're moving away from, and now we're moving into the themes of control and also depth. Now, the control is always going to be a tribal theme. So this is something that we haven't really had a lot of energy to sort of amp up things. We've had a little bit of tribal energy, but this is more tribal energy in that it is environmental. Now, this control is going to be with us for a couple of months, and we're also going to have the depth. But the if you look at them as an opposition, we see that the Gate 48 is really about the depth, in finding depth, because it gives you a sense of control, or knowing what potentially you're going to encounter, and that's sort of how it's supposed to work out. The Gate 21 is a tribal energy that is connected to resources. It's the voice of the tribe. And the one planet that I'm sort of looking at to be interacting the most with the environment or the nodes is Mars, because it will be connecting with the Gate 21. It also will be going through the Gate 17 earlier on in the month. It'll go through the Gate 17 from the 6th until the 12th. And that is really going to bring this abundance of opinions. And I know what the truth is, and maybe you don't know what it is. And so that is something that in the global environment might be a little bit challenging energy. So knowing that this is part of the collective energy might be something that is worthwhile, so that you're not drawn into this war of wills, or war of opinions, because again, an opinion is only an unproven hypothesis, because there is no validity to anything unless it's been experimented with. We had the same sort of energy with Venus moving through the Gate 17 back a couple months ago, but now with Mars there, I think it's going to be a little bit more, I hate to say toxic, but it's better to say that it might be, and prepare for what you might encounter in the world, as opposed to thinking that everything's going to be smooth and easy. So if you are in that situation where things are getting a little bit too heated and too toxic, and a bit too I know and you don't, then sometimes it's better to retreat, and to know that it's not part of something that you have to interact with. Now, from a global perspective, this is also about the idea of humanity as a whole, and that it is about organizing humanity in a way where everybody is served. So it is also about leaders, and those who are leaders who are not serving should not be in their roles anymore, because this is the whole energy for the Gate 17, is those who wish to rule must also know how to serve. So that is about people really pushing back against any leadership that they feel is not serving the collective, is not serving the pattern, is not serving people in a way where we know that in the future the patterns will be stable, and that everything will work out well. And from the 13th to 19th or 20th, Mars is going to be connecting with the North Node. And this is where we're bringing in the energy of Mars, and the tribal energy of, of control, needing to have resources, needing to have what you need for your people, and really deciding that that is more important than anything else. My people are better than your people. This is about the tribal energy that is always about my people as opposed to your people, and how I'm better than you and how we're more important than you, and that we need to survive as opposed to whatever happens to you. And that is sort of the tribal energy. And when we have the gate 21, this is controlling the resources, or controlling the energy so that your people get what they need. Nodes, when they move through this energy, there will be times where they will fix a line or go with a detriment or an exaltation based on the fact that we only have one side of the energy. So this brings in a more impactful energy for the nodes, in the way that, there might be sort of a leaning to one way or the other with the energy of the gate 21. So the overall theme that Mars might bring is just this idea of power and control, and really pushing by anybody who tries to interfere with your path. And this is something we could see globally happening, however that looks. The other perspective is later in the month, we have Pluto moving in back into the gate 60 line 6. And this is it's almost like an extremism of limitation, where it's beyond what is necessary. And if you think about the idea that we moved from the gate 60, and there was like this sense of, oh, okay, now we have a new beginning. And yes, we might start with fewer things, but we have a new beginning, because you could look at the gate 41 as the beginning, and we have the gate 53 as a beginning. So the gate 41 is a much broader perspective. So you start to think, more expansively. And then suddenly we have Pluto moving back in the gate 60 line 6, and this is saying, okay, now we need to limit, now we need to pull back, now we need to sort of pull back those resources. And again, this is this over exaggeration potentially of limitation. And this could be a global thing where we have leaders trying to exert more control on the people, and the people want freedom. So that's another thing that we could see sort of playing out globally, where there's this push-pull, this control, and it could be control from the leaderships, the tribal leadership, trying to control the people, trying to control the collective, trying to enforce the rule of law on the collective. Now, we'll see how that plays out. So with that said, I hope you have a really good month ahead. And until next time, take care and bye for now.